Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankajanaಭಾಯ Nama Pankajamaline Nama Pankajnetraya Namaste Pankajangve Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatharinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. So we are reading Gita Upanishad, the secret to cross over the material nature and the cycle of birth and death. Upanishad also means to sit close and hear a secret. And Gita Upanishad is the secret spoken by the Lord for His children so that we can cross over the cycle of birth and death. So we are reading chapter 13, Nature, the Enjoyer and the Consciousness. So I think we are reading these wonderful qualities, and I mentioned last time that these are so important. So they're coming in multiple chapters. Chapter 12, chapter 13, chapter 2 we were reading last time about tolerance in the Saturday call. Chapter 17 talks about this, about Satogun and austerities of body, minds. Chapter 18 also talks about the qualities of Brahmana. So in short, again and again, this, why is it being repeated? Because it is very, very important. So let's read the next paragraph from where we stopped last time. And I believe we discussed about two qualities, namely taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, and the next was humility. And as the advancement, as a devotee advances, these qualities naturally develop. Yasyastir bhagavati, yasyastir bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarve gunai tatra samasate sura. All the divine qualities manifest and must manifest. Otherwise, something is not right. So let's read the next quality, next paragraph. Would Renuka Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Tolerance means that one should be practiced to be.
No, I think one before that we didn't read the non-violence.
Okay. Yes, I missed it. Non-violence is generally taken to mean not killing or destroying the body, but actually non-violence means not to put others into distress. People in general are trapped by ignorance in the material concept of life, and they perpetually suffer material pains. So unless one elevates people to spiritual knowledge, one is practicing violence. One should try his best to distribute real knowledge to the people so that they may become enlightened and leave this material entanglement that is non-violence.
Well, thank you. So this definition of non-violence, is really unique, because often, if we talk about non-violence, people say, oh, don't kill others, don't harm others, which is all correct, and therefore we have the regulative principle while of not meat eating or not killing animals. And this coronavirus we were discussing yesterday also, that it is all an outcome of killing innocent animals. It is the karmic reaction. But Prabhupada's definition of non-violence is a little different. Prabhupada is mentioning that unless one tries to share Krishna consciousness, one is practicing violence. Very, very simple and clear words. That means we are a preaching mission, and we must understand how much our movement needs us, or how, for our own purification. let's say if we have some medicine of coronavirus or some vaccine of coronavirus, but we don't share with anyone, it is basically an offense. So to have something special which the world is looking for, but not share that, is offense. So therefore, we as messengers or ambassadors or servants of the mission of Lord Chaitanya have this responsibility. Agreed, we are not pure devotees. It's not that I can deliver the whole world, and neither we have to think like that. But we have to act as a via medium to the best of our ability. We cannot preach to 10,000 people, that's absolutely fine. But whatever our circle of ambit is, whether it is one person or 10 people or 20 people or 50 people, and if someone has potential 1,000 people, why not? So one must do one's best to one's abilities, and teaching or outreaching is multiple ways. It does not necessarily mean giving a class. It could be inviting to programs, inviting to temple, giving them Krishna Prasad, telling them about some spirit, giving them Bhagavad Gita, etc., telling them the importance, reading with them, taking care of them in a spiritual way, helping them to become close to Krishna, giving them some Krishna conscious gifts. There are multiple ways. Giving them the nirmalya or the remnants of the Lord, like the flowers offered to the Lord, or the lamp, or different ways we can outreach or preach. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that who is to be blamed of so much problems in the world? He says Vaishnavas are to be blamed. And again, multiple, in one of the statements, because if everyone takes to this service of outreach, then there will be more devotees, and 1 + 1 will make 11. One will touch 5 people, those 5 will reach to another 5. And why do we do it? For our own benefit. Because I'm sure you must have observed this, that when you share something with someone, if your friend, relative, husband, wife, daughter, son, whomever, if you share some point, they may ask questions, and they will ask questions. Sometimes they will ask questions, like strangers may ask even in a challenging way. Someone will say, oh, you are distributing Bhagavad Gita, do you read it? And that will strike us. Well, that's true. I'm not reading Bhagavad Gita enough. Someone will say, do you know any shlokas in this book? You are distributing this. Then it will strike us. Oh yes, I should probably, learn at least few verses. So if someone asks me next time, I can tell what I'm trying to give. So it will help us to grow. His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu says that. And spiritual mathematics is different. Material mathematics, if you have 100 rupees or $100, you give 10 here, 10 there, 5 here, 20 here, 50 here, and then you have 0. But in spiritual mathematics, the more you share, the more we share, the more it grows. So we are very, very fortunate, blessed, grateful that we have the remedy, this bhava aushadhi, to get free from this birth and death cycle. But it would be very, very miserly or kripana to keep that with us only and not share. So we must share. We must try our best. Under the guidance of senior Vaishnavas, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, we must. Otherwise, we are practicing violence as per the definition of Prabhupada. Because we are not trying to help others come out of their distress situation. Vaishnava means compassion, the friend of everyone. And one who is friend of everyone tries to help others to understand how can others come out of the situation, the troublesome situation. Just recently I read a German finance minister committed suicide thinking of this coronavirus recession. Now just think about how much the world needs this Krishna consciousness. He's a state finance minister. He's not a poor, daily wage worker. I'm sure he must have had some savings to take care of his needs and, for the rest of the life probably. But lack of Krishna consciousness is the real distress, is the real problem, not the coronavirus. Because more people are dying. Millions of people are dying because of depression. Someone shared a statistics. About 30, or I don't know how many, let's say 30,000 people died because of coronavirus, or 5,000. I don't know the exact number since it started. But, more than 1 million people have committed abortions. 1 million people have died because of, other diseases. Thousands and millions are dying because of depression. So it's not that the problems are, these are real, problems. The real problems are birth, old age, disease, death. So we have the medicine by we means Srila Prabhupada and his family. So we must try to share if we are real well-wisher. Otherwise, we are committing violence. If a rich person has millions of dollars but he doesn't share, what will we call him or her? Kanjus, Kripana, miser, narrow-minded, narrow heart, small heart. But Vaishnavas are Udara Charitana. They have a very big heart. They are very, very kind and compassionate. So the real compassion, the real non-violence is to share the message of Krishna consciousness according to one's best abilities. That is for our purification. So it's kind of a win-win deal. We certainly grow. Even if the other person does not take, we tried. That's great. Krishna notices our endeavor. Krishna doesn't see the results. We try to distribute books. We try to distribute prasad. People come, they take. People don't take, that's fine. Any other comments in this non-violence section? Okay, let's read the next paragraph. Yes, Sharanya Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, me?
Tolerance.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's a little bit breaking, but I can hear.
Okay, so no, probably today I have some, what before. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Tolerance. One should be proud to bear insult and dishonor from others. If one is engaged in the advance of spiritual knowledge, there are so many insults and much dishonor from others. This is expected because material nature is so constituted. Even a boy like Prahlad, who only 5 years old, was engaged in the cultivation of spiritual knowledge, was endangered when his father became antagonist to his devotion. The father tried to kill him in so many ways, but Prahlada tolerated him. So there may be many impediments to making advancement in spiritual knowledge, but we should be tolerant and progress with determination. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. So each and every word of this whole purport is very, very important. So we come to the next quality of tolerance, or this tolerance comes at least 8 to 10 times in the translations of Bhagavad Gita. It is very, very important quality. We were discussing last time also when we were talking, I think text number 15. Tam Stitikshva Bharata. Oh Arjuna, you must tolerate 2:14. So devotee does not have the tit for tat mentality. Tit for tat or tolerate that. Radhisham Prabhu gave a nice class on that. So no tit for tat, but tolerate that. Because tolerance is for our own benefit. If we don't tolerate, then how will we understand that how much humility we have developed? If we say, oh, I'm Dasanudas, and someone says, oh, Prabhu, you think you are great, but you are actually fool number 1. And then it hurts my false ego. And say, how did you say fool? I'm fool. You don't know how I speak. You don't know what I have done for the temple. You don't know what I have done for this. That means there is zero humility. But when we are disrespected or dishonored, then only it's a test. So actually we should be grateful to that person. In the heart at least. You are helping me to understand what's in my heart. And you're helping me to practice tolerance. So we should be grateful rather than doing tit for tat. We should tolerate that. In the Bhagavatam, there are many examples where devotees have shown this tolerance. Many examples. Lord Shiva, how he was cursed in the Daksha Yagya, and then Chitraketu Maharaj. And there are also instances where they have done tit for tat. And the outcome is lose-lose. Tit for tat, outcome will be both parties will ultimately lose. I'm sure you have heard of like win-win, win-lose relationship. In the tolerate that, ultimately you will be happy. Even if the other party may realize their mistake, may not, but at least we will be happy that Krishna, I did my best by not doing tit for tat. And that's what the test is. Ability of a man or a woman is tested in provoking situations. So those provoking situations are basically our test. Easy is to be kind to people who are kind to us. That doesn't take a big person to do that. To love those who love us, nothing great. But to be kind and gentle, even to the people who are not so kind to us, that takes greatness. And that's why Prahlad Maharaj, it's not that he was kind to his friends. His father was trying to kill him in like hundreds of ways. But he tolerated, and therefore the section of Bhagavatam talking about Prahlad Maharaj is pretty much the longest section, one of the longest sections. That makes him dear to the Lord because of his tolerance, because of his sahinshilta, because of his titikshva. And he never thought his father as his enemy. It's not that internally he was tolerating, but externally making plans to kill him. In fact, when Lord Nrsimhadev asked, what do you want, my dear child, after killing Hiranyakashipu and all that? What do you want? He said, well, please deliver my father. So to love even the people who are trying to kill someone, that's Prahlad Maharaj. That's the epitome of tolerance. Of course, we cannot artificially imitate that, but at least we must learn to try to tolerate insults and dishonor, which will come. If we can't tolerate that, then things will get difficult. So in the midst of all ups and downs, we continue rendering bhakti, and that's what Lord Brahma says. Then certainly the Lord is pleased. And that's what we say, Trinadapi Sunichena Taroripa Sahishuna Amanina Manadina. Give all respect to others, but expect none in return. That's tolerance. And in that state one can chant. Because if one will not be attached, okay, you give me respect, fine. It belongs to Gurudev, it belongs to Krishna. I just acting as a puppet. Okay, I didn't get this respect or honor. That's fine. I anyways don't deserve it because I'm just a puppet. Puppet doesn't, get a credit. In a puppet show, let's say you go to a puppet show. I'm sure you may have seen somewhere in Jaipur or India somewhere. Do, people say, wow, it was a great puppet or it was a great puppeteer? It's always the puppeteer. That's what Prabhupada said, Nachao, nachao, nachao se mate. Krishna, make me dance the way you want me to dance. So with that mood, one can try to, absorb and take inspiration from the great Prahlad Maharaj. And there are multiple examples, but we can just move on. Any other comments or questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Nice explanation, but my question is like in Grihastha life and many situations, the tolerance is important. When we are reading, we know that it's important, but based on the situations and circumstances, like how do we have to develop that thing? Like we have to be tolerant if somebody says wrong to us, like something they find fault in us also, we try to like tell something like we will find faults in others, like otherwise we will tell like what we are good at. So how can we become tolerant like when somebody is talking negative about us?
It could be case to case basis also, because if we are not pure devotees, and sometimes in the society and ISKCON and family, we have to deal case to case basis. But the general principle is that why I'm feeling bad, and the root cause is attachment. Because if you are detached, if you are completely detached, then there is no hurt feelings. So let's say someone say, Prabhuji, you did this, class, or you did this program, but it was a complete failure. You should have not done this. You should have, and I get really mad. That's because I'm attached. Oh, the way I do things has to be right, and I'm not open to feedback or corrections. So probably we should evaluate. Again, it's case to case basis. Sometimes what they're saying is completely correct. It depends who is speaking. If let's say a senior Vaishnava is giving me good constructive feedback and I get mad at him or her for giving me that, then it's certainly false ego. But if someone, it depends, so there is no like one answer, I would say. But we have to honestly evaluate. Is it because of my ego I'm, getting harsh or not? What is the truth? Honestly introspect that situation, whether that person who is speaking harsh or saying, some faults of ours, if they're genuine, then we should thank them. If someone says, oh, Prabhuji, you are sleeping during chanting, well, that's actually, the two responses could be, I may get mad. How dare you? Don't know? I've been chanting for this long and this and that. How can I sleep? But if I introspect and understand that, yes, I am a conditioned soul, and I'm so thankful, Prabhu, you helped me to, you woke me up during the chanting. I was sleeping. It is an aparadh. You helped me. I'm so grateful to you. So please pray for me so I can, overcome, and honestly thank them. So does that answer your question, Mataji? It's case to case. We have to.
Yes. Yeah, it was helpful, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, let's read the next quality. So we covered 4 so far. You want to read? Shivangi Mataji? Okay. Manjulali, you want to read? Come. Simplicity.
Simplicity means that without diplomacy, one should be so straightforward that he can disclose the real truth even to an enemy. As for acceptance of the spiritual master, that is essential. Because without the instruction of a bona fide spiritual master, one cannot progress in the spiritual science. One should approach the spiritual master with all humility and offer him all services so that he will be pleased to bestow his blessings upon the disciple. Because the bona fide spiritual master is representative of Krishna, if he bestows any blessings upon his disciple, that will make the disciple immediately advanced, without the disciples following the regulative principles. Or the regulative principles will be easier for one who has served the spiritual master without reservation.
So simplicity. That's the next quality called Arjavam. Vaishnavta means Saralta. Saralta is Vaishnavta. So Vaishnava means non-duplicitous. Arjavam. Arjavam means simplicity. So simplicity. That's the next quality called Arjavam. Vaishnavta means Saralta. Saralta is Vaishnavta. So Vaishnava means non-duplicitous. So Vaishnava means non-duplicitous. That means what is inside is outside. Outside being a devotee is not very difficult. Dhoti, kurta or sari, putting tilak and beads takes few hundred rupees, maybe 1,000 rupees at max. Anyone can become outside devotee. Not a big deal. But simplicity means what is inside is outside. So we have to watch ourself, our thoughts. Sometimes we say Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Mataji, and we feel like hitting them with a danda. The devotee was joking. But it's actually truth. Outside saying Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam means I fall as a servant unto your lotus feet. You are my master, I am your servant. But in the heart we are thinking of beating them with a stick or danda. So that's not simplicity. Simplicity means non-duplicity. Simplicity means straightforwardness. If we are, one devotee was saying that Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda are Patita Pavana. They are very, very merciful, but they are not Kapati Pavana. Kapati or Pakhanti means duplicitous. Jagai and Madai were not duplicitous. They were saying what they were doing. They were doing wrong things and they were outside inside same. But sometimes we see that if we become duplicitous, that Krishna is not pleased. Lord Chaitanya will not be merciful on such a person. So we must approach a bona fide spiritual master with all humility and share in confidence that, oh Gurudev, I am struggling with these problems. If one hides from the spiritual master, who is considered like an expert physician, let's say we hide our symptoms, we go to a doctor and we hide our symptoms. Oh, what will the doctor think? I have this problem also. Then will we get good treatment? Certainly not. So it is said that one should not hide anything with the doctor and lawyer. That means one should be transparent. One should be straightforward. Speak what is there. Then the doctor or the lawyer can give guidance. And the devotee is compared to a physician or a doctor who can give good guidance based on our desires, based on our shortcomings, based on our hankerings, based on our nature. So therefore, philosophy, general thing, is for everyone. But we need practical guidance also. How to apply those teachings. And that's when you can say senior Vaishnavas or counselor or mentor or spiritual master, Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru come into picture. Otherwise, if just by reading a book one becomes a devotee, then what's the need for Guru? So by serving the spiritual master, by following the instructions, it becomes easy. The process becomes easy. So I can go on and on, but just in the interest of time, simplicity is very, very important. Simple living, high thinking, non-duplicitous. Prabhupada is saying even one can tell the truth to an enemy. These days, one doesn't tell truth to even friends, what to speak of enemies. So, very deep. Devotion is very deep. Bhakti is very deep. Any other comments, questions? On this topic of simplicity. Okay, let's move forward. Cleanliness. You want to read? Renuka Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Cleanliness is essential for making advancement in spiritual life. There are two kinds of cleanliness, external and internal. External cleanliness means taking a bath, but for internal cleanliness, One has to think of Krishna always and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This process cleans the accumulated dust of past karma from the mind. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So next quality is shaucham, or cleanliness. Prabhupada is explaining cleanliness doesn't mean, sometimes there are people externally very clean but internally full of lust, anger, greed, envy. So we have to maintain both. External cleanliness is easy because it's external, right? Bodily level cleanliness is easy. Wash hands, wash feet. Now we are doing that more often. The whole world is encouraged, which are basically natural things in our Vedic culture to wash hand with and cleanliness. So sometimes brahmana is supposed to take bath twice or thrice. Like we go to a cremation, we're supposed to take bath. We pass stool, we're supposed to take bath. So one must follow these things. These are very, very scientific, at the same time very, very spiritual. So while being in kitchen, we have to be extra cautious because kitchen is like the next altar. Kitchen is a preparation room of Radharani's cooking. We have to have that consciousness that this is a divine place. It's not that we start eating in the kitchen or just touch anything, smell anything, taste anything, like materialistic people whose focus of cooking is their own enjoyment. So cleanliness is very, very important. External, but external is not sufficient until we start working on the internal. Cheto darpana marjanam. That's the first shloka. Our heart is full of dirt from millions and zillions of lifetimes. There's a thick layer of dirt which has accumulated on this heart. The dirt of material desires, the dirt of lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, false ego. How can that be cleansed? We read in Bhagavad Gita also that sansara mala sakrit gita amrita snanam sansara mala nashanam maline mochane pumsam jalasnanam dine dine. Sakrit gita amrita snanam sansara mala nashanam. Sakrit means even once one takes bath in the nectar of Ganges of Bhagavad Gita, he is free from sansara mala, the dirt of material life. So even once one takes, so much benefit. What to speak of someone who does it regularly? It's required because the dirt is very thick, coating is there. Then the chanting of the holy name, serving the spiritual master, all these devotional qualities, all these acts of devotion, reading scriptures, chanting, cooking for Krishna, serving, various services, taking shelter of spiritual master, deity worship, etc. These are the processes to cleanse our internal dirt, which is more important. I'm not saying external is not important, but more important is internal cleansing. Any other comments or questions? Okay, let's read the next one. Yes, Hiranya Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Steadiness means one should be very determined to make progress in spiritual life. Without such determination, one cannot make tangible progress. And self-control means that one should not accept anything which is decremental to the path of spiritual progress. One should become accustomed to this and reject anything which is against the path of spiritual progress. This is real renunciation. The senses are so strong that they are anxious to have sense gratification. One should care these demands which are necessary. The sense should only be gratified to keep the body fit so that one discharge his duty in life. The most important and untrue is the time. If we can control the time, then there is possible controlling the The function of taste and to vibrate systemization that should always engaged in tasting the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna and chanting Hare Krishna. As far as the eyes are concerned, they should not doubt to see anything but the beautiful form of Krishna that control the eyes. Similarly, the ears should be in hearing about Krishna, noise in smelling the flowers offered to Krishna. This is the process of devotional. It is understood. But Gita is simply expounding the science of devotional service. Devotional service is the main objective. Unintelligent commentators on the Gita try to divert the mind of the reader to other subjects. There is no other in Gita than devotional service. Thank you, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Thank you so much. So, stherium or steadiness. Steadiness means I will do this no matter what may come. It's not that, oh, if I feel like I will chant. If I, do we say like for that for eating also? If I feel like I will eat. We do that steady. We don't miss our meals, or we don't miss, bathing or brushing. Or let's say if someone has to, go to the office, they're very steady when going to the school. So, if we can be so steady in material life, then how much more steady we should be in the spiritual life. Utsaha, Nishchay, Dhairya. These are the qualities required. Enthusiasm, steadiness, Nishchay. That I will do it. Understanding that this is the best thing for me. Not, when if I feel like. Because if we do things based on our mind and senses, if I feel like I'll chant, if I feel like I'll join the class, if I feel like I will go for the temple program, then the mind will cheat. That's the nature of the mind, to cheat us. Because it's not in the pure state. And in a impure state, it is the worst enemy. So the worst enemy is sitting right within us. That's the impure mind. So we have to subdue the mind with the steadiness and determination of good intelligence. And that is Krishna consciousness or bhakti. Then we will not listen to the demands of the mind and the senses. You'll say, mind and senses, you wait. I have to do this. I have to chant my rounds. I have to do the cooking. I have to take care of the kids. So many activities should be already populated in our schedule that the mind has no time. We're already determined so much. Yes, I have to do this. I have to increase my sadhana. I have to increase more chanting, more reading, more hearing, so that even if there's little vacant time, we revise some shlokas. Even if we're standing in a queue in a grocery store, let's remember some shlokas. Let's chant Nourishing Arti. We don't realize so much time, otherwise will go by. Even if we are brushing our teeth, we can hear Krishna Katha, or we can remember some, Arti, some bhajan, some shlokas. So pretty much, and that's how should be that's the focus. That's the steadiness. That's the effort a devotee is showing. Krishna, I want you. And we have to show that. That is steadiness. Not just, on Janmashtami, if I feel like I'll attend the program. Then the mind will certainly trick us. Determination is required. In the story of Dhruva Maharaj, Dhruva means steady. His spiritual master told him, Dhruva, what are you doing? You are a 5-year-old. Your father said some harsh words, or mother said, Suruchi says harsh word. Why you worry? 5-year-old people don't worry about all these things. Come, I'll take you home. Your father will put you on his lap. Dhruva said, no. Oh dear Narad Muni, if you want to help me. Otherwise, please, let me pursue my path. Narad Muni was testing him. And at that point, Prabhupada says, if one has the determination of Dhruva Maharaj, Krishna will send the spiritual master like Narad Muni. Dhruva is the epitome of determination. So we can learn how much determination these great devotees are showing. And then renunciation or self-control, accepting what is favorable and rejecting what is not favorable. This again, all these topics, they are very, very big actually. We can talk for an hour on each topic, and very, very important also to understand deeply. And out of that, the senses, we discuss about sense control, and we speak that in the prasadam prayers. Sometimes we speak in so much joy because, the class is ended, kirtan has ended, everything ended, and often everyone's favorite, the prasadam is coming, and everyone is Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmane Vaishnave Svalpa Punya Vitamrachan Vishwasane Vajayat Sharira Vidyaja. But often we don't meditate upon what we are speaking. It is actually a prayer of self-pity, that I'm so fallen, my tongue is so voracious, my tongue is so unconquerable. But oh Krishna, you are so merciful. You are giving me this opportunity to honor your remnants, your Mahaprasad, by which I'll be purified, my tongue will be purified, and my body will be purified, and my intelligence and my consciousness will be purified. So we should at least meditate upon the meaning, if not word to word, but at least on the whole essence. What are we speaking? So that it's not an act of enjoyment. We don't enjoy prasad, we honor prasad. We don't eat prasad, we honor the remnants, so that we can control the functions of the tongue or give them the higher taste. The higher tongue has two purposes: eating or tasting, and then vibrating. Vibrating means speaking. And sometimes we should feel blessed. Many people don't have these two functions, right? Sometimes we take it for granted. And this comes in Nectar of Instructions, Vacho Vegam, ability to control the speech. Very, very important. If we just keep croaking like a frog, Prabhupada mentions, then the snake of death would identify and just grab us. So we should be cautious on what we are speaking. We should not indulge in lot of village talks, Gramya Katha, or fault finding, very, very detrimental. You know what happened, this, or too much wasteful talks. 5 hours talking about Corona, hours and hours spending talking about Corona. Okay, we can talk, it's important, but let's not, as Visheshika Prabhu says, let's not major in minor things. It's a minor thing. We talk about it, we give the due importance it deserves, 5-10 minutes, that's it. We major in major things, Krishna consciousness. We should talk about that more. We should talk about Krishna and Krishna consciousness more. And the focus should be that. That is the austerity of speech. That is the process to control the tongue. And the tongue, the belly, and the genitals fall in the three places in the straight line. So if the tongue is controlled, the belly and the genitals will also be controlled. Otherwise, if we eat rajasic food, not offered food, and let the tongue vibrate whatever the tongue would like to vibrate, then the tongue would not be controlled. We would indulge in fault finding. We would indulge in durukti, harsh speaking, bad speaking. We will eat anything what the tongue would dictate us, and we will be lost. Same with the eyes, especially in this day and age. Any time we go out, the episode how Ajamil got bewildered, they are happening every day. So many billboards, hoardings, YouTube, video, Netflix, so many opportunities for distraction. So one has to be very, very careful. Where are we engaging our eyes? Where are we engaging our sight, the mind, the nose? Krishna has given a lot of higher taste, but it is up to us to make conscious choice to engage in that. Otherwise, we will be lost, like Ajamil. So even if one sees, now we cannot close our eyes. Let's say we are driving on the road and we see a billboard which is not suitable for the eyes to see. Now there are two options. Either we can say, okay, just remember some shloka at that time, or chant some prayer, or chant, or we can start meditating upon that billboard. Dhyayato Vishyan Punsa. The problem happens when we start meditating. Seeing is now kind of beyond our control, let's say. But if we start meditating, then the problem will begin. So one must not meditate upon the objects of senses. And it ultimately, you can revise text number 64 and 65, this progression from meditating upon sense objects to buddhi nasha pranashyati, complete fall down. And there's a sequence: meditation upon sense objects, lust, attachment, anger, smriti vibhrama, one loses one's intelligence, buddhi nasha pranashyati. So it starts with contemplating on the sense objects. One must be very, very careful. And ultimately, if we give the higher taste, the lower taste will eventually go. And the higher taste is what we are reading, we are hearing, Bhagavad Gita, chanting, etc., associating with devotees, honoring Krishna Prasad. Any comments, questions? Sorry if I'm going too slow on this verse, but I feel I'm going fast, but this is so important actually. Any other comments or questions? Okay, thank you so much. I think we can pause here, and Krishna willing, next time we can discuss. So I'm so grateful for your association and discussion. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srimad Gita Upanishad ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.